Hi Rock Buds, it's Rock Papa. Hope you guys are doing well. Grammy and I just got back from the beach where we both got sunburned, and now we're in the Ram van. We're going to head up to the Smokies on the Blue Ridge Parkway for about a week. But today I have a rock story for you, and here is the rock. I'm going to tell you about this rock, what kind of rock it is, and we're going to talk about how it was formed, and I think you'll like it. So here we go. Rock story, chert. Okay, so let's take a look at this gorgeous piece of chert. You can see it's got a lot of red color in it, and that's probably iron. And so what is chert? Chert is quartz, but the crystals in chert are microscopic, and they call that cryptocrystalline quartz. So chert and flint are both cryptocrystalline quartz. And Rock Buds, what's the difference between chert and flint? There's not really any difference. They're just two common names for the same stuff. Cryptocrystalline quartz. So where does this quartz come from that Mother Nature turns into chert? Well, there are several sources. Sea creatures that have silicon in their structures supply some of this silicon. Creatures like sponges, starfish, crinoids, and teeny tiny microscopic kinds of creatures like diatoms and radiolarians also that have silicon as their main structure. Another source of quartz for chert is stratovolcanoes. They erupt billions and billions of tons of quartz-rich volcanic ash and tuff that covers forests and provides the quartz that turns the buried forests into petrified wood, which is basically chert. And finally, we have sand dunes as a source of quartz for chert. During Jurassic time, we had massive sand dune deserts, the largest that the world has ever known, and the wind blew extremely fine bits of quartz from the dunes into oceans, and chert was formed. More about that later. There are three kinds or types of chert that I know about. First kind is bedded chert. The Fort Payne Formation is the best example of bedded chert I know of. During earliest Mississippian time, when the Allegheny and Orogeny Foreland Basin was developing, cool, silica-rich waters were washed up into the deeper part of this basin, and all kinds of silica-rich creatures thrived in this area, and this became the Fort Payne chert. Here's some Indian arrowheads made from the Fort Payne chert, and a lot of the Fort Payne chert is tan in color, but it can also be black. The next type of chert that I know about is called nodular chert. Nodular chert forms in limestone when silica-rich creatures like sponges, starfish, and crinoids die, and circulating water picks up their silicon and deposits it in these chert-rich nodules. Here's a drawing of an ancient chert mine in England. The light-colored material is chalk, which is a form of limestone. And in that chalk are layers of black chert. It was absolutely so valuable to these Paleolithic and Mesolithic peoples. The last type of chert that I know about is called Ribbonchert. Here's a picture of some Ribbonchert from California. If you go to the beach and you walk out into the ocean and you can just keep on walking on the bottom of the ocean for about 100 miles or more. You're on the continental shelf that gets slowly deeper and deeper. Then you come to a huge drop-off. That's called the continental slope, and it goes down for hundreds or thousands of feet. And at the bottom of the continental slope is the deep ocean abyss. This deep ocean bottom is far too cold for limestone to form, and so tiny microscopic pieces of sand, quartz in other words, that drift out from many sources, perhaps sand dunes or volcanic ash, settle down on the bottom and form layers with mud, and this is Ribbonchert. Hey rock buds, when continents collide, that Ribbonchert from the deep ocean is shoved up and folded and pushed up onto land, and that's where we can find it today. But shazam, rock buds, I forgot to tell you about a super cool example of bedded chert that is where this beautiful red piece of chert came from. Out in the Sahara Desert of today, you have these beautiful oases where water springs up from the ground, creating a tiny spot of lush vegetation and beautiful water in the middle of the desert. Flowing water picks up the sand and deposits it over many millions of years as chert in these oases. Here's a picture of the Cedar Mesa sandstone in the Canyonlands National Park Needles section. The thin layers in this sandstone represent times when there was an oasis or where groundwater came to the surface. They call that a sabkha. And chert, among other minerals, was laid down and deposited. And that's the way this beautiful piece of reddish chert was formed. Hi rock buds, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you find this video interesting and useful. And this is your Rock Papa saying, happy rock hunting.